my fighting style is kind of like for anyone, I think you just got to be yourself. And this guy would wake up in the morning, he goes, hey, it's not vacation. Come to the gym. How many times did you let people and be like, I'm gonna be in there? You know, she used to tell my dad, if God left me in the oven for a little longer, I would have popped the wiener.
Hello everybody and welcome to Between Rounds presented by Gorilla Energy. I'm Dan Hardy and I'm joined this episode by Josh Silveira with always an awesome get-up. Let's start with the fashion first of all, my friend. Shorts or trousers, what are they?
So yeah, these are, I would consider these jorts.
Jorts.
I don't use the word trousers as much, but
Okay.
they're mini trousers.
Okay.
You know.
So a bit of air conditioning for your ankles, but otherwise presentable.
Presentable. You get definitely a lot of airflow through there. You know, a lot of people might think you might not, but I get a lot of airflow. When I wear shorter shorts, sometimes maybe because my thighs are bigger, I don't get as much airflow as you.
They kind of block all the space.
They kind of block all the
makes sense.
space, and then I'm just like this big, sweaty dude with thighs, kind of, you know, sweating his butt crack or something, like, you know, swamp ass, as we like to call it. So the jorts give me a little bit of airflow, and I've always rocked jorts since I was a little kid.
Okay.
And then, you know, maybe like 10 years ago, they started cutting out of style.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of just like try to kind of trend along. So I had to deal with these like chubby things for a while, you know, just so I could be part of, just have some friends. And now we're back on the jorts. I'm like, yeah, history repeats itself as time. So we're back with the longer shorts now.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing, right? So correct me if I'm wrong. So I'm 82, you're 92.
Yeah, I'm a 92.
Right, so there's a decade between us.
Yeah.
So like, I probably was around the first cycle and now it's coming through in the second cycle.
It's coming through in the second
So
cycle.
you probably caught like, baggy trousers are coming back in. Like,
Yeah.
my jeans were dragging on the floor when I was at school.
That was
Wallet chain, skater shoes.
The little chain hanging off
all
the
of that.
side. Yeah,
and now
it
I
was.
see everyone bringing it back. I'm like, I don't think I can wear baggy jeans anymore. I don't think it's. But you get away with it.
Yeah, I'm lucky I get away with it. You know, you know, I haven't completely, you know, went to like the suit and tie side yet. You know, as you get older, that's kind of what happens. I'm still trying to hold on to the. The youthfulness, yeah.
Talk to me about your fashion though, because like every time I see you, you're always dressed in a unique way.
Yeah.
You're never wearing something that I would find in a regular shop on the high street.
Sure,
like,
for sure.
Like how do you put the ensembles together?
So I think it starts off with me being like born in Miami.
Okay.
So I think Miami is a place where like you don't see much black and white. You do see it, but it's a place where you see a lot of colors all the time. So growing up, the buildings are colorful, everything's colorful, the people are colorful. So I just kind of approached it like that. And then after a while of like, you know, I would put an effort into like matching clothes, you know, the top matches the shoes and the, you know, just typical, can't go wrong. And then I got to a certain point where I was like, I'm getting kind of bored of this, of like just the typical matching. So I started doing stuff like clashing stuff that's not supposed to match, but it ends up looking like it matches, if that makes sense, you know? So I've been using a lot of plaid. I've been getting back into, I was into low ankle socks for a while. Now I'm getting back into higher socks with different colors.
Right.
Before it was just white socks, because I don't know, I couldn't see myself with different. So this is all an effort that I think in my mind too, you know? And so when I'm like purchasing these types of things, I don't really purchase anything. Like, I don't grab anything at the mall. I just look, and then when I go online, I find these specific shops that get a little bit more courageous with their ideas. And then, yeah, man, I've learned my lesson too. Like, I've ordered stuff, I'm like, oh, this is horrible, you know? And it usually comes from like Europe or like sometimes the sizes are a little smaller.
Yeah.
I gotta like double the size sometimes. So I've had my experiences, but yeah, this is kind of like one of my hobbies I do, you know? And I don't really go out, like I'm not like a nightlife guy anymore. So it's like when I'm going to the grocery store, my wife's like, yo, why are you taking forever? I'm like, yo, I'm putting this dope outfit to go grocery shopping. I gotta use it, you know? So I'll pull some stuff out the closet just to go grocery shopping, just to like feel good a little bit, you know? A lot of people give me like crap. They're like, dude, come on, you're a man, bro, just But I like to feel good, you know. I don't like to. I don't know. I think it's just something I like doing.
Yeah.
You know. So.
Does it change during fight week? Are you like, as you pack in for fight week, are you picking out like, yeah, I'm gonna feel good wearing this? And
You're good at that.
I've been saving these Sepultura shorts
for a while.
This interview.
Yeah,
this is
nice.
the first time I've worn these. I've got you and your father today. I'm like, Brazilian roots. I've got to give
There you go,
Sepultura a shout out. So like sometimes I'll do the same thing. I'll have a particular shirt or something that
you wanna
I'll keep a hold of
for a day, for that
thing.
specific day. Yeah. So for this particular case, when I was packing for Charlotte, I pack more than I should, just because I have options. Because I hate not like, damn, I wish I would have brought those. So I get to the airport to weigh my bag. I'm fucking 8 pounds over. You know, 8 pounds over. I was like, Jesus, I'm going. It's a fight week, not a fashion week. So I have to go pull these jorts. The jorts is what's heavy. I pull like 3 of them out, roll them up, and the guy ends up letting me pass with like 52 pounds. But it was like 58 pounds. I was like, you know, maybe I could cool down on the items I bring. But yeah, man, I think fighting is so special in its own bubble that like if you don't find another hobby outside of fighting, something that has nothing to do with fighting, I think you kind of have, it's hard to deal with yourself, you know, like fighting's not an easy thing to deal with. So like maybe fashion or something is a little bit more on the softer side, you know. I like to DJ as well. Like, I like entertainment. I like to, I guess, show off a little bit, you could say. But like, it's just because I think I'm so extreme on one end. You know what I mean? Like when I go out and I see a fighter wearing like a tap out now is cool nowadays. But back in the day, it's just like, bro, leave the tap out shirt at home. You don't have to tell everybody you can tap everyone out. Or they wear like Sinister. You know, Sinister was a cool brand. Or when Randy Couture was doing it, those were cool stuff. But
Hitman was good.
Yeah, Hitman.
Full Contact Fighter, just
full contact.
Shirt,
you know,
they were great.
There were some cool shirts, but like when we started kind of commercializing the shirt, right? I was like, I don't like it no more.
Yeah.
You know, even a PFL shirt. I wear a PFL shirt here and there, but like you won't see me wear it out. The last thing I want people to know is that I'm a fighter. That's just my style. You know, like. After the conversation rolls, oh, you have cauliflower. Oh, leave this guy alone. Then it's like, you know, you're wherever you're at. But I will never go up to someone and just be like, yeah, I'm a PFL guy. This is who I am, you know. Yeah. I like to people have a little mystery about who is this guy. He dresses funky, his personality, you know. Yeah. Then as you get to know me, you know, it just kind of like elaborates more, you know. It's like a good book.
Diversity of your character.
Exactly.
Do you do the same thing with your training clothes? Are you like looking? I've just bought a wicked half sumo Megadeth rash guard. Yeah. It's awesome. And again, I'm like, I'm going to save this rash guard for a particular training session. When I know cameras are in the gym because people need to see it. For sure. Like, are you doing the same thing? Have you got really funky workout stuff? I think with training, I don't emphasize so much on the dress up part, but like if a fighter gives me like his shirt or something, I will wear it. You know, I'll take a photo with them. Like I'm when it's time for training, it's funny. Like that fashion stuff is out of my mind. Interesting. Yeah, I have certain types of things I like to wear because I have like eczema, skin issues sometimes, so you know the rash guards and long stuff. So I'm more focused on like protecting my skin, but every once in a while, something will mix in together, you know. And the gym already knows I like to dress up, so they're like, oh, he did this on purpose, you know. I was like, listen, it's just natural. So if you were customizing your own pair of MMA shorts, are you going with the plaid jorts? Man, if I could wear jorts on that, I won't be able to throw any knees from wrestling, right? Yeah, it could protect from wrestling. Might not be able to throw some high kicks, but I would do it, man. Especially if I could fill them up with some sponsors. That'd be sick. Yeah, you know, they say bigger the shorts, more the sponsors, right? Yeah. So I was always into bigger shorts, anyways, and I grew up with Vale Tudo guys who were wearing tights the whole time. Of course. You know, eventually you're like, I don't need the tights no more. Yeah. I used to like the Vale Tudo shorts until I had sponsors, and then I had no space. No space, yeah. Then I went for the big, long tap-out shorts because I could NASCAR them up, you know what I mean? You could put, 5 sponsors in there, and the Vale Tudo is just one right on your ass. It's got one right on your butt right there, maybe on your thighs, and that's it, you know? Yeah. So. Dude, those old school brands though, like Hot Blood and Vitamins and Minerals, a lot of them came out of Brazil, right? Yeah. You know. So talk to me about, you grew up in Miami. I grew up in Miami, yeah. Your father, who's standing over in the corner of the room, is legendary. Legendary. That's what they say. I mean, that's what everybody says. So talk to me about growing up in Miami. with a legendary father, and kind of when did you realize the equity that this man had in the sport?
Yeah, that's a good question, because the realization didn't hit me till like, it took other people to come up to me and be like, yeah, your dad's pretty cool, man. You know, your dad taught me how to defend myself, because I thought it was just so regular, you know. This is 1992, South Beach. Jiu-Jitsu wasn't, it's probably been mentioned a handful of times. Like if you went up to somebody and said, you want to do some Jiu-Jitsu, they would probably know ninjutsu. They would be like, oh yeah, I know ninjutsu, you know, pull up a picture of like some stars or something, you know, ninja stars. But you know, you're growing up, you're going to school. The school is when it really hit me, like career day, what do you want to be? You know, these kids are saying like, I want to be an astronaut. You know, they're all really reaching for the stars here, you know, president. And then here I am, you know, I'm MMA, I didn't even know the word MMA. I'm saying a cage fighter. And they're like, what? Vale tudo. And they're like, well, vale tudo, this kid speaking Portuguese. I'm like, I mean, anything goes, no holds bar. I was just saying everything that I knew. And that, people didn't know what I was talking about, you know. It was one PE teacher. He's like, who's your father? I would mention to him my father, and that's when he's like, dude, your dad's a bare knuckle fighter. Like he fights on, I had other people explaining to me what my dad was doing. Cause I was a small kid, but he fights on like native soil, man. Like it's technically illegal. I was like, oh, wow, I didn't know that, you know. But growing up with that environment, you know, I had guys like my father, Ralph Gracie, Carson Gracie Jr. So you would go to the gym, and it wasn't like it was back in the day. It was like 8 guys, all fighting for basically nothing. Basically nothing, you know. But they loved the sport, and I remember walking the streets of South Beach, and they all had fanny packs. That was the thing, fanny packs, and they're all walking around, and I'm just like, this is the coolest gang I've ever. You know, my life was like, school. Are we going to the gym? Can I be involved? Can I, you know, I just knew that the setting, being in Miami, was like the city was for the taking almost, like in the 90s, you know. It was very new. The world, especially Miami, they needed that. You know, I felt like we were in the martial arts community, it was a big stamp. Like when my dad, you know, you could learn jiu-jitsu, but you couldn't learn good jiu-jitsu. There's only one spot in the U.S. was like California, you know. So that Carson Gracie style kind of hit Florida very hard, you know, and it was cool growing up, man. It was like, just even when I would wake up, some of the guys would sleep at my house, you know, like Vitor Belfort and stuff like that, you know. Waking up with those guys, you know, just, I was like their nephew almost. Yeah. You know, they were all my tios, and it was just a cool, special time. And I know those days will never come back. You know, the sport has developed so much where those days just won't happen again. You know, it's just too much eyes on it now. But it happened like that because it was so intimate, so special, right? Like if we were all kind of, everybody was kind of in a bad spot, but in a good spot at the same time, you know. My mom washing the gis, you know, just like, you can make a movie with this stuff, you know. But those days, it was just kind of, you know, I wish somebody would tell me those were the good old days, you know. But it was cool growing up with that stuff.
Yeah. You must look back on those days and feel privileged that you were a part of it at that time.
Extremely privileged. You know, sometime when I was a kid, it used to cross my mind, like, why couldn't my dad be like a pilot or like a lawyer or like something, a stat, you know? Because I'm like, oh yeah, you know, jiu-jitsu. But as I got older, you see how special it is. You could learn different things, but like martial arts from a kid, you know, when somebody goes up to you and like, oh, I want to be a fighter, and they're like 25 years old, they're like, have you done anything in the past? Or, you know, have you done any sort of, and if you kind of haven't, it's tough on you, you know? But you could still learn the stuff, but it's different when you grow up with it, man. You know what I mean?
So when did wrestling come into your life? Because like, it sounds to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, that you already knew of MMA and combat sports 100%. And fighting. So, because a lot of people, they go to wrestling and then find MMA. Did you go to wrestling because of MMA?
So when I grew up with the jiu-jitsu, I was playing football.
Right.
I wanted to get a scholarship. Like my thing was like, my parents got here to this country. It's my my opportunity and a little bit of my obligation to try to do something a little bit more deeper, you know what I mean? I can't expect them to do the whole 9 yards. Like, we got here, now do something, you know? So I knew that I was going to get it through sports. I had to get a scholarship through sports. So I was playing football, South Florida, and then I walked into a wrestling room. I was 16 years old, and I was like, he's like, you know, I was like, I know a little judo. I knew a lot of judo toss, and like I knew jiu-jitsu. And so the first day they let me wrestle socks, and I just start kind of, I can't really take a shot, but I'm throwing people, you know, belly to belly, hip toss. And the guy's like, you're pretty good, man. He's like, there's this one coach, Joe Blasucci, he's like, I'll get you a scholarship. He's like, you're a bigger sized kid. I could get you a scholarship. So I trusted this crazy guy. You know, I stopped playing football. That was like, I abandoned my mission. I stopped playing football. My dad agreed with it. My dad's like, listen, if you're thinking about fighting, because I would talk about it at 15, but I was kind of doubting it a little bit because some of the technique was different. You would watch MMA and guys were throwing spinning wheel kicks and stuff. I was like, this is not what I saw when I was a kid. It was developing at a high level. So I'd have these little self-doubts, and my dad's like, if you do wrestling in college, you will feel more complete. So I kept to the wrestling, got a scholarship, and then from there, man, it was like my wrestling journey from like 16 to, 24. It was like I focused on just wrestling. And then when I graduated wrestling, then I started mixing everything together. But the MMA didn't start coming until after college.
Right.
With like, I went to Power MMA with like Ryan Bader and CB Dalloway and Aaron Simpson.
Yeah.
They were all wrestlers over there, so crazy world. People think I'm a wrestler since a baby. I'm not. I've been wrestling since, it was a hard decision to make, but there's kids who've been wrestling since they were 4 years old, but yeah, man, wrestling's a big part. It helped me a lot get to where I'm at.
So you must have seen American Top Team at all the different stages of its development.
I saw it before American Top Team. It was Silveira brothers.
Is that right?
Silveira brothers. It was my dad and my uncle. They had the Silveira brothers team. It was just a good old jiu-jitsu team. And then, start connecting with people. I saw the symbol in my dad's gym in West Miami go from Silveira brothers. They erased it off, and then I saw the first American Top Team symbol sign.
Wow.
I was like, what is this? My dad, this is the new team, And then from there, think about Jeff Munson with one tattoo. One tattoo. One or two. That's how long ago it was.
Wow.
I saw that freaking snowman monster walk in there. He had like one little tattoo. Now he's covered all over the place. But that's my example for people. That's how long ago it was.
Yeah.
The guy had one tat.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I actually remember watching Jeff Munson train at ATT.
He's an absolute savage.
Savage.
Inside and out. Inside and out.
Yeah.
His mentality is a little crazy too. He's the first and last guy to do what he wants. He's the only guy in ATT to kind of does what he wants to do. We don't really question him. He'll be at the gym one day. This is back in the day. He'll be at the gym the next day. Jeff, where are you? Oh, I'm flying to Russia for a fight. Jeff, you didn't tell us this. I know. I took the fight on last night. Okay, Jeff. I hope everything works out. He goes and he north-south chokes. He's like, I told you everything's going to be okay. All right, Jeff.
Dude, that was his choke, wasn't it? North-south.
But we use Jeff as an example of, okay, let's make sure all the fighters, the other guys don't do this,
Yeah.
But yeah, he's one of the pioneers of ATT, man.
Definitely, yeah. So I remember seeing Jeff Munson. So my first time at American Top Team, I think, was 2004.
Yeah.
That was at the old place. And Mike Brown was on the desk working every day, training as well. Marcus Aurelius was there. You remember that
Marcus
guy?
Aurelius.
Man, loads and loads of good guys. Thiago Alves beat the snot out of me for a month.
Oh,
Man,
yeah. Oh, wow. You went to the bigger
the old Coconut Creek
old Coconut one.
Yeah, I've been to the new one, which is, it's just a level above
it's like
everywhere
another
else. It's crazy.
My dad likes to say it like the old one was like a high school.
Yeah.
And this one's a university. And it does. It feels like you're in the good thing about the ATT gym, when you walk in there, you're like, wow, holy crap, this is like a facility, Then you walk to other gyms, you could still see, it's hard to do that, you need a lot of support, you need a community, and takes time. I think ATT started in 2002.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
it's been a while, man.
Yeah. I mean, so I turned pro in 2004. I went out there with Paul Daly before my first pro fight.
I know Paul Daly.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
we came out again a short while after that. But like, we had a good time. I mean, it was a real eye opener. It was, you know.
I maybe I was there.
Yeah.
Maybe I was a little kid.
I mean, how old would you have been? You'd have been what, 12?
12, and yeah, that was.
I remember your uncle as well, because I got dropped on the mat, and I remember opening my eyes, having no idea where I was.
Uncle Marcel.
Literally no idea where I was. I remember looking over at the wall and seeing the American Top Team sign, and the last thing I remember was being at my parents' house.
Oh my gosh.
Like, that's how I'd lost like 2 weeks of time.
Oh my goodness.
And I opened my eyes, and your uncle just had his palm on my chest, and he said, "Just stay there." I'm like,
yeah, my uncle, he's a funny guy.
I couldn't even find the changing rooms. That's how bad the punch was.
Wow.
Done. I've only been knocked out twice in training, but that was
one of them.
Block KO on a Tuesday morning.
It was a block KO. Yeah, we don't even use that word no more, but block KO. But that was I remember one time I got in a fight in school, and I got suspended for 10 days.
Okay.
10-day suspension. And this guy would wake up in the morning, he goes, "Hey, you're not vacation. Come to the gym." And you know, I had to go to the gym because blockade was during school time.
Right.
So I would only see blockade on Saturdays. So a little piece of me was excited to be suspended.
What does the word mean?
Blockade means, what does blockade mean?
Sparring.
Sparring.
Okay.
It's just I think it means like a block party, kind of like a blockade, like a block, like we're meeting at the block, I think.
Okay.
Like we're like when we all meet together, you know.
Okay.
So I'm at the gym, and my dad throws me Vaseline. He goes, "Come on, get to work." And I'm just putting the Vaseline on the guys, running around. And I remember one of the first times I saw somebody get KO'd. I seen it on TV, but in front of my eyes, dum, dum, dum. And I just see the guy like, I'm just like, Dad, I remember, Dad, calm. Like, it was a big deal for me where everyone was just calm. And I was like, why is everyone so freaking calm right now? This guy's like dying. But it wasn't, you know, he's just getting KO'd. It was a very interesting, those 10 days are super cool.
Yeah.
At the same time, you know, I shouldn't have gotten a fight in school, but I definitely made it worth my while, you know. He wasn't going to let me just stay home all day.
Of course not, no.
So, you know, put the gloves on. I was just kind of a helper, but, you know, kids love that stuff.
Yeah.
Kids love to be a part of that. So I was thinking about getting another fight at school just to get another
just get another 10 days.
Another 10 days.
Dude, I remember those days. It was the Bruce Lee bong sour gloves that we were wearing at the time. You know, the padded with the fingertips
ones with the like a mitt.
Yeah.
Back in the day, it was kind of bring what you had.
Yeah.
One guy had 16 ounces, the other guy had 12. Now you can't get away with it.
Okay.
Yeah, now coaches at ATT will walk up to you and they'll read they're like, "No, you're not sparring today." It was like you're 16. You know, we have rules now. 16, you don't have a mouthpiece, come back tomorrow. You know, like, we will not let you do. Or back in the day, I was just like, I guess you're gonna spar with MMA gloves. You know,
that's crazy. That's why your gym's leading the way, though. Like, I'm traveling around the world. I go into so many gyms. Pro MMA fighters never spar with big gloves on.
Yeah.
They use the bumper gloves, which is changing the way that people punch.
For
Have
sure.
you noticed the younger generations do this with their hands?
They're more like this.
Yeah.
They're more.
I think it's because the bumper gloves, the way that they punch.
The way they punch.
I've seen
You're
it
talking about
around
they
the
have like a
world.
little bump on the.
I don't know. I don't know whether it's the weight of the gloves or because a lot of people hit pads with those gloves on now.
Yeah,
like we always sparred 16-ounce gloves for sparring, 10 lace-ups for pads,
for
and
sure.
then we would put MMA gloves on for live training. But we didn't have bumpers back in my day either.
Yeah, like the puffy gloves. Yeah, we incorporate the puffy gloves, but I think at ATT, so many guys are in a good spot that we all have like this weird, like, listen, don't hurt me.
Yeah.
Don't fucking hurt me. Like, I have a big deal coming up. You know, everyone's in a good spot, so you gotta just be careful with the younger guys that wanna maybe show something. But for the most part, everyone's pretty good, and the coaches do the best at protecting us, man.
Yeah.
Because maybe I don't want to call a guy out, but the coach will go there and be like, you don't wear 10 ounces for sparring, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
But, you know, you got to start somewhere, right?
Got to.
My dad was hitting people in the back of the head with his elbow.
I've got some of those fights on video for real back in the day. Yeah, Extreme
Battle Cave.
Extreme Fighting was one of Extreme Fighting 7 or something. I've got the DVD.
It was Extreme Fighting, but I remember it'd say Battle Cave right in the middle, and the cage was literally short. I remember.
Yeah, people leading over it.
Carson Gracie Jr. versus John Lewis. You ever heard of John Lewis before?
I remember John Lewis. He fought in the UFC, but Jens Pulver knocked him out.
Jens Pulver knocked him out.
Pulver knocked him out.
John Lewis double legs Carson Gracie Jr. is on a double leg, pulls him up. Carson Gracie Jr. hooks the cage. They're doing this for 15 minutes. He would let go, and then he'd fight, and then he'd get back. He'd hang on the cage, and I remember thinking, how the hell did no one think, like, at least don't grab the cage, you know? Don't hook over the cage. Yeah. I remember my dad was trying to sweep a guy, Gary the Iron Bear, trying to sweep this guy. And this guy just grabs the cage. My dad can't quite sweep him because he's literally, you know, and I'm like, geez, man, you know? Just what a crazy freaking time.
Crazy time.
There are no corners.
No.
I saw Carson Gracie running around the ring. They'd run around, run into the other corner. The ref didn't even know how to stop it.
Yeah.
My dad chokes this guy out. The ref's just like, stop. The doctor from the outside is like slapping my dad, like, let him go. You know, they didn't know what, you know, fight's over.
Yeah.
You know, even from that development, you know, from hitting in the back of the head to the ref not knowing when to get involved.
Yeah.
You know, nowadays, now we're giving refs shit for not getting involved, you know.
We've got to.
You know,
someone's got to hold these guys accountable.
Yeah, for real.
Tom's doing a good job.
You know?
Appreciate that. Yeah. No, I agree with you. I mean, it was wild back in the day. Like when I first started watching MMA, I was 16, and it had just kind of become a thing. And I'd been doing martial arts, so I felt like I could handle myself. And I saw, you know, early UFCs and extreme fighting, and I'm like, this is wild.
For sure.
Like a part of me was questioning whether I could do it.
Yeah.
So I had to try it, you know what I mean? But it was like you also didn't know what you were getting into.
You didn't know.
One of the ones that stick out in my mind was a guy called Branko Sikatic, who was a kickboxer from Europe, who was aggressively breaking the rules at every opportunity.
Oh, wow.
Like he fought in Pride in the early days, and he volleyed the guy in the head, gave him a massive lump on his face. That was a kickboxing bout. Shouldn't have kicked him in the head.
Should have kicked him. Oh, wow.
He also fought, and I know your dad will remember this, he fought Mark Kerr, and you just reminded me of it. Every time Mark Kerr went to tackle him, he threw his arm over the ropes and was just elbowing him in the back of the head and neck.
Yeah,
just wild
and this was
games.
a time there was like no rules really, right?
I mean, the referees really didn't know exactly what they were enforcing sometimes either.
Yeah.
Did you have a favorite back in the day, someone you enjoyed watching?
Man, I did. And it wasn't, my dad would always tell me, he's like, why do you like this guy so much? And I just liked watching him a lot.
Okay.
He was just entertainment to me, and I think it's because when I watched the first UFC house, and he just clicked to me. It was Melvin Gillard.
Yeah.
I loved Melvin. I just loved his kill or be killed.
Yeah.
I knew he was gonna knock you out, or he was just gonna be like.
He was so fast as well.
And I think I gravitated to him because I was such a jiu-jitsu guy. You know, like I could have picked all the jiu-jitsu guys, but he was like my little like. So when he would go fight, my dad would be like, "Hey, here you go, come on, there's your guy." He's like, "You don't even know him, you know." There'd be ATT guys in the car. I'd be like, "I want them to win, but I want Melvin to win." I liked his attitude, you know what I mean? He was kind of like my little fan favorite when I was a kid. You know, I liked watching his open style.
Yeah.
Just kind of, he never threw like a jab, you know. It was just. You know, and he would freaking chin check people.
He was a brutal fighter. He had a lot of experience as well for the time that he was fighting.
For sure, and he was kind of like what I think associated a lot with him is growing up in like a city, Miami and stuff. I would grow up with like rough kids, and I know none of those kids knew jiu-jitsu. It was just like the chances that you know jiu-jitsu are slim to nothing. But when I see Melvin fight, he knew. I was like, man, I admire this guy. He looks like he has like a rough life. Maybe he fell into martial arts and it saved his life. And I like that story. I like when the martial arts kind of saves you. It's a typical story, but typically for Melvin, I could feel his like, I came from nothing. From when he would talk in his interviews, and his attitude was always like laughing and smiling, you know. And there was one particular fight, he was like on a 5-fight win streak, and he got choked out by like Joe Lozon.
Yeah, Joe Lozon.
And there was like this video of him like really being human, man. Like really, like I was almost there. Like I was, you know. And I don't know. I just like that. I don't know. I've kind of gravitated towards being his fan, you know.
Yeah.
And being Brazilian, like in all these other Brazilian fighters, he was kind of like my, you know. When Chris Weidman fought Anderson Silva, I had like this little. I did not like seeing his leg break. but I had like this little thing that like the wrestlers did it.
Yeah.
We did it, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like a bunch of Brazilians, I'm like, and I'm like, calm down. I'm gonna relax now.
Yeah. It's interesting the fighters that have an impact on you. Like literally of all the fighters, I would have never have guessed you'd have said Melvin Gillard.
No, I know. It's always like
it's cool. I like a left field answer like that. You know, the fight that I always remember of Melvin Gillard was when he fought Gabe Rudiger. Gabe Rudiger, and he punched him in the stomach and just folded him. Oh.
I remember he fought this one. I mean, the dude, the punch came from. He used to throw this right hand. I forgot the guy's name, to be honest, but
he was so fast.
He was just fat. Killed or be killed mentality. You know, I love that stuff. I don't know how he's doing now, but I'm sure he's.
I hope he's doing well, man. I mean, he put so much time into the cage and stuff back in the day, didn't he? So what do you do when you're not training? We've got the hot sauce on the table
yeah, here you go. Yeah,
Angry Barbarian. That's a great design as well, isn't it?
Yeah. So the whole thing behind this, I got interviewed. There you go, the Angry Barbarian. I got interviewed in this chili shop, like this hot sauce chili head shop, right? Okay. In Orlando, you walk in, there's like hot sauces everywhere. This guy, his name's Don. He used his shop to do this interview. I did this interview with like Miss Florida. It's like a beauty pageant lady. They did this like, she's gonna interview you, and you're gonna, before you answer, you try these hot sauces that this guy got for us. Kind of like the hot ones with the chicken wings.
I've seen that.
And so we were, she asked me questions, we were laughing, and this guy just liked my vibe. And so at the end, he's like, hey, let me get your information. He's like, I want to make a hot sauce for you. You do the design, you do what you want, and let me just make the sauce for you, man. And it took like a year of like him sending samples, and I would be like, I don't know anything about hot sauces, but he would send me samples, and eventually we hit this one here, and he's like, you like it? And he starts kind of sampling them. He's like, bro, these restaurants like it. He's like, we're gonna do it. Next thing you know, my buddy who's an artist is doing the design for me. I kind of try to put like a Brazilian color to it, like a Brazilian vibe.
Dude, I'm literally wearing the shorts.
So it matches you, yeah.
That's crazy.
Then you got the guy at the bell, and to be honest, I was doing a bunch of like AI stuff, and it's so funny that like creativity still seems better when it's just the brain power,
Yeah.
And so then I did the Angry Barbarian to match the name. Next thing you know, I'm driving to Sarasota, Florida, to the factory, and these bottles are just like they're going through the machine, man. Next thing you know, I'm driving back home, like 300 boxes in my car, and now they're in my kitchen.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it's it's cool. It's I took a chance to like try something new. Took a page from Dustin's book.
Yeah.
I gave Dustin some of my hot sauce. He's giving me, so I think it was like a lot of people invest in a lot of different things. I kind of wanted to do an investment where like I could kind of see if it works, see if it doesn't work. I didn't want to go too hard, but I like it, man. Worst comes to worst, I have a bunch of hot sauce, and
it's not the end of the world, is it? It's a great design as well.
For sure.
Where can you get it? Where can people get it?
So I have a website. It's called theangrybarbarian.com. Because I tried to do Angry Barbarian, but I guess somebody already got that. So theangrybarbarian.com. I have a buy two get one free, and there's free shipping already. You bet you could get 3 bottles of hot sauce under $20. That's a deal. Support your local fighters.
For sure. I can't remember what brand it was. One of the old school brands back in the day was like they made stickers, support your local fight club.
Oh, they did.
And they were everywhere. We need to reinvigorate those stickers.
I think there's so much things in this MMA world that still has opportunity. I think you just have to find a good niche, right? You just have to come up with a good idea.
Yeah. See, what I'm trying to do, so obviously next year, as everyone knows, PFL was merging with MVP.
Yeah.
It's just going to grow
that
so quickly. That
surprised you too, right?
It did. It surprised me. But I'm working on a couple of things behind the scenes, and we're looking at, new short designs. Like John Martin really likes the old school, all the patches and stuff.
Nice.
And he's the boss now, so we can lean into that a little bit more. And I'm like, Man,
for the next year's uniform.
Yeah, we need
very
like
cool.
an old school, a retro style with all the old patches on it and stuff.
100%.
I think that would be really cool. We'll have to hit you up because you'll have some good
Dude,
ideas.
get me involved, man. Get me involved. Sometimes you got to risk it for the biscuit. Sometimes, you know. So
Well, I mean, we are fight week, so we should probably mention that. I mean, I like to talk about all the other things aside from fighting. But how are you feeling? How's your weight? Your energy's always good fight week.
yeah, I feel good. The weight's good, man. If I told you what I ate last night, you would be, if you were cutting weight, you would be upset. But I had a blue cheeseburger, some chicken wings. Of course I'm just drinking water, but my weight's so good right now. Yesterday after practice, I got down to like 193.
Really? Yeah.
193.
Okay.
So my thing is like get down and let's refuel. While everyone's eating like a little rabbit, eating like some carrots or whatever whatever their nutritionists told them to do, I'm just, it doesn't really change much for me. You know what I mean? So I feel good. My attitude's good. This is my 20th professional fight, 25th fight overall. So it's kind of crazy to say that to myself, But yeah, I feel good. This is middleweight class, probably in the best shape of my life. I would think so.
Is that a work hard and refuel a wrestling thing more than an MMA thing? Because I see MMA fighters struggle and starve.
They hold
themselves,
their weight.
Whereas like wrestlers seem to eat well and then train hard.
Yeah, I think wrestling taught me you want to eat, put in the sweat first. You reward yourself with the meal, sweat first, rather than I think if you're not used to a wrestling culture, you want to hold your weight. You maybe don't want to eat as much. For me, I'm going to eat what I should eat, and I'm going to sweat how I should sweat. I'm not going to sweat a bunch and eat a little because I don't want to work out. No, dude, you have to play the ping pong. So that 193 to 199, I'll play that game until that day of, I limit my suffering, and then I'll weigh in day, okay, 193, 186, let's go, choom. We're there for less than 10 hours. My body doesn't even feel that. Now, if you're sitting at 190 and you're holding and you still have 4 more pounds to cut, bro, just go eat 3 pounds of food. Go put some pounds in so you could feel good.
Yeah.
As my dad calls it, you're gonna be barbecue. That little piece of meat you leave in the back of the grill, you forget it. You're like, oh shit, my bad. That's the guy who doesn't want to work out anymore. He's in the hotel bed rolling around. No, please. You got to give that guy a little Pedialyte or something so he could, you need something to go do something. When you try holding it, it doesn't work out. But yeah, after this, I'm probably gonna go eat some pancakes.
Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Check my weight, see, and then tonight will be a little bit more, let's be disciplined.
Sure.
And if worse comes to worse, I have Thursday morning. A pound, 2 pounds. That's always the best. You see some of the guys Thursday morning, like the stress, and I'm like, I don't want to ask them how much they cut. You can kind of see how much they need to cut.
Yeah.
If you're under that 5 pounds, you're definitely gonna be a little calmer. But you see those guys who are like 10 pounds the day of the morning, like what are you doing, bud?
Crazy work.
Yeah,
no, not for me.
But you gotta live and learn.
Yeah. So what's the process of, like, say you're here at fight week, you've got your team around you, game planning's done, you kind of know how you're gonna approach the fight. Like, how do you come together with the game plan? Is that a collaborative effort? Do you have your own thoughts and then speak to coaches, or?
Yeah, I think the game plan, I think the way that I fight, kind of like, my fighting style is kind of like for anyone. I think you just got to be yourself. Now there's certain things that my opponent does. He likes to hold you on the cage, those specific things. But I think I just got to be myself. I think anybody who I fight, I just have to be myself. There's been a couple fights in the past, like against like Rob Wilkinson. Obviously be careful with him. Be a little bit more alert. But and for this particular fight, I think he needs to do more of what he knows that he needs to do, and I just have to kind of show him like this is not going to work against me.
Gotcha. Do you almost feel like you have skills no matter where the fight goes, you're going to be good?
I feel like for this particular fight, he needs to do everything that he needs to do everything that he's planned, that he's been fighting. The way he fights the same. He fights the same. Push you on the cage, hold you, And I think if I show him that this is not going to work, I never seen him adjust to a different game plan. I never seen him like, okay, let me do this. You know, his thing is like slow you down, hold you on the cage. And the big question I ask myself is what is he gonna do? What's he gonna do that's going to affect me? Now, like, I get it, you're gonna slow me down, get me tired, but like when I fought Impa will put a combo on you. He'll do something to you. You gotta be careful, you gotta keep your eye, like, I don't know what Aaron's necessarily gonna do to me that's gonna take me out. I think he's just gonna try to hold like he does, you know, and he's good at it, I'll give it to him, but I'm trying to figure out what he's gonna do to me that's going to affect me in a negative way, like hurt me, not gonna choke me out. Everyone has a right hand. I've never seen him put a combo on someone, like a 3-piece combo. He has some elbows, but I don't know what he's gonna do to me, if that makes sense, right? Like, what are you going to do to win this fight?
Yeah. So do you have a feeling out process then in the first round? Do you kind of give him a bit of space to express himself?
There's going to be a little bit of feel out process. I know he's going to come forward. He's going to do his little go forward, you know. So I'm going to...
You're doing your research. That's very good.
Yeah, he loops to the left. You know. And I know there's going to be big right body kicks, open stance. He's going to come, you know. He's good at that. He doesn't put combos because I don't think he's comfortable doing combos, but open stance, rear kick. Rear kick. I mean, as a southpaw, I know that too. You know, rear kick. It's a big travel. Boom. You know, I know that. The teeps are gonna come, big overhand rights, but I've never seen him do like a check hook.
Gotcha.
I've never seen him like bang, like a Pereira check hook or something like that. Like, you caught me. You know. If anything, I seen him eat some Fabians, threw some nasty uppercuts on him, cause he's so like. I never seen him go straight spine. Like, take a break. Go straight spine and approach me like this. He don't know how to do this. His thing is a little curve in his spine, and the middle is kind of, he's very square. It works well if you play his game. Now, if you just throw to hurt that it'll hurt. You know, I've seen him hurt too, and he doesn't do well going backwards. His thing is forward. You know what I mean? He's a one street guy. You know, so. I think once I put that into my game plan and I make him feel a little uncomfortable, and I'm a pressure guy too. If I start pressuring him back, then the fight will vividly go look in my favor.
Gotcha.
You know, same thing with the Murad fight. Like, I knew I was winning that fight. Like, I knew how I had to fight that guy, and then Aaron fights him the same way and split decisions with him because you don't fight a Dagestan wrestler like that. It was risky. You could have lost that fight.
Is that because he didn't have another option though? Do you feel?
It's just because he doesn't know how to like play the middle, like just win it's a fight. You don't have to hug everybody all the time, you know. And I think it almost cost him the fight. Where with Murad, I'm like, oh, this guy's not gonna beat. Same thing with Murad. I was like, what are you gonna do to me? You gonna wrestle me? No, you need to do more than that, man. You wrestle me, I'll give my back to you, but you're not gonna choke me out, you know.
Yeah.
So it's.
Will you be a coach when you're done fighting? Do you think?
I believe I will be, man.
Yeah.
I believe I'm gonna coach. I believe that you can never really say bye to the sport. We talk about this, right? You can't really say bye. You're always gonna like touch hands on something, you know? Like, let me be involved, whether you're a part of like the show, or you're coaching a fighter, or you're doing like a podcast. You know, I think there's too much. It's not just a career. It's like a lifestyle that sticks with you for forever.
Yeah.
You know?
And you were born into it, so I guess even more so for you.
Yeah, I think for me to completely leave this thing, I think something crazy would have to happen. You know, like something tragic, or like or something I have to invest all my time into.
Yeah.
But I can't. That's not gonna. You know, this is my life. You know. I'm for sure gonna probably coach now, like open up a gym and coach beginners and stuff. Not to say anything. I think I have to develop a little bit more patience. I think I have to go into a little phase of my life. But coaching pros, I love that. Because I could talk the way I want to talk. Constructive criticism sucks, but this is the time. You know what I mean? I tell people, like, tell me what I need to know, because I don't want to get knocked out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're like, you have to accept the criticism, you know, of construct. You're like, hey, you got to do this, you got to do that. You're gonna lose the fight if you do this. You know.
Yeah.
I like that stuff.
You don't have to worry about pros' feelings because you're telling them what's best for them. You know?
Yeah, you know, I've seen my dad do this stuff with fighters. I've seen my dad tell fighters, you're not gonna fight that fight unless you want to destroy your career. You know, and I think having somebody else look at it from a different angle is so important, man, because in this sport is a false sense of confidence that will destroy you. If you come from a small gym and all the coaches are like, yeah, you got it, then you go there, and then the next thing you're telling your coach, like, I thought you said I got it, and you have like shiners on your eyes, you know, and false sense of confidence.
Yeah.
You need somebody to tell you, not good. This is not today. You know, I bring up Amanda Nunes with Cyborg. 9 months. My dad made Amanda wait 9 months to really get her, you know, like, listen, we're not fighting we're fighting a specific chick, and then people are giving her shit for pushing the fight back, whatever. Now look, we don't even remember that. We just remember her fucking
winning, yeah.
Just that KO, and it was freaking. That KO was insane.
Yeah, it was.
I was like, is that a chick? Holy shit! You know, she used to tell my dad, if God left me in the oven for a little longer, I would have popped the. I would have popped the wiener.
Man, she's amazing to watch, isn't she?
She's
you know
fun,
I mean?
bro.
She's so good to watch.
She's good, you know. She's not with us anymore, but it was definitely a treat watching her, and me and her became good friends, and still till today, you know, I'll catch her at some restaurants here and there, or at a fight show, and she calls me Jelly Bean.
Jelly Bean.
Yeah, because I showed her, you know what I mean, Jelly Bean, and she liked that. She's like, what is that? I was like, it's an American saying, you know, it's like when you reinsure somebody, like, I got you. Mm-hmm. You know, so now I'm her Jelly Bean.
I like that. I like the English want to be no troubles bubbles.
No troubles bubbles. Yeah.
That's a good one as well.
I've been learning some English slang.
You dropped some in yesterday when we were talking.
Yeah, Cody, Dakota's brother. He explained what a chinwag was.
Of course, that's what
chinwag's we're having a good chinwag, right? And I tried asking him, I was like, can a chinwag be used for bad? And he's like, never. Chinwag is only positive. Mm-hmm. I was like, so if somebody's like arguing with somebody, you can't say like, oh, they're having a bad chinwag. He's like, no, they're having a chat.
Yeah.
They're having a chat.
Yeah, it's a serious chat.
So a serious chat, yeah. So I was like, okay. So chinwag, I put that one in my pocket, man. I like that. Yeah, you know. And it makes me think of like two dogs meeting each other.
Yeah, right.
And their tails are just wagging along.
That's the energy. That's the energy, absolutely. So when are we getting this tattooed then? Because I reckon that's tattoo worthy.
That's tattoo worthy, isn't it? Oh man, you know what? Maybe after this fight now, you know, why not? I'm actually thinking about we could throw a nice little silhouette somewhere.
Yeah.
You know?
I think that's awesome.
I think it'd be good. Maybe that'd be one of the few color tattoos I have. I gotta maybe find a guy that could really do that one, you know?
Definitely.
Yeah, maybe do somewhere in my legs or we'll see, man. I'm more into the patchy style now.
Yeah, we were talking about this yesterday. I like the shadowboxing boy. That's one of my favorites. That's just so cool.
I saw a tattoo of a little boy. It's like a little kid, and the shadow was Batman, like in a cape.
That's cool.
And I was like, oh, this is super cool. But I want to incorporate it into like a fighting thing, you know?
Yeah.
And so, do you know who Chris Nunes is?
Yeah, of course. Miami Ink?
Yeah. That's his son.
Is it really?
Anthony Nunes.
That's cool.
So cool story for this. My uncle Luis Sagado was Chris's, what do you call those people that like you guide them?
Oh yeah,
Chris was like his apprentice,
like his mentor.
My uncle was the
apprentice.
mentor. So when I went to go get this done, Anthony's just like, hey man, where'd you get this stuff? I was like, oh, this is from my uncle Luis Sagato, and he stopped. What did you? Who? He goes, bro, my dad doesn't talk about nobody, but only that guy about like he taught him everything. So he calls his dad up and he goes, Dad, this Luis Sagato's nephew. I call him my uncle, and he's like, holy shit. Your father's Conan. Your uncle is Marcelo. I was like, damn, this guy knows my whole family. So how crazy that the dude's son is and we didn't know. We found that out at the shop. Yeah. So crazy small world, man. But yeah, Chris Noonan's son did this one on me. This one I went to New York for this. This was another guy. But this is all my uncle, man.
Is that right? We've got to show this. That's my favorite.
I
love the shadowboxing boy, but talk about old school
Gracie
MMA
Bulldog,
lore.
yeah.
You know?
So when people think of Gracie Barra, they think of that G.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think of that.
This is the real one. Yeah. My dad has 2 of these on his back.
I know. I remember. Yeah. It's such a cool tattoo.
A piece of me felt like I didn't deserve it, but then, there's some old photos of me and Carson, and I think I'm worthy of it now. I think I've been around that culture enough.
Yeah.
But it was, man, that was that for sure is a special one for me.
Definitely is.
Definitely. He added the little stitches on the top. Just he couldn't help himself. That's my uncle, man. You go in with one idea, just know that you're not gonna get that tatted on you. He's gonna do what he wants.
I love it. That's old school. That is. That's
yeah,
old school.
yeah.
Right. Let's finish with one of these questions. So
yes.
we've got questions from other people that have been on the show. I think there's a question in there from a PFL staff member as well. Just pick one of those out. We always get a good question from people.
Okay, if you could fight one historical figure in a MMA fight, who would it be, and how would you match up?
Ooh, who's that from?
That's from Sullivan Cully. I actually went to school with him.
Did you really?
To ASU.
Good dude, Sullivan.
Yeah, he's a good dude. So if I could fight someone in an MMA fight, who would I match up with? Man, that means I gotta fight somebody I like.
Or someone you don't like.
Someone I don't like.
I always wanted to fight Tito.
Tito Ortiz?
Yeah.
I
don't know why. He was my target when I was coming up. I just didn't like Tito.
Let me see here. Man.
Are there any celebrities that you don't like? Is there anybody you don't like? I mean, you just seem like such a nice guy.
I like a lot of people, man. Yeah. I can't think of anyone.
What about a fighter that you used to like, that you looked up to, just to be in the cage with them?
Just to be in the cage. That's the thing. Growing up with me, I was just around so many guys. I always felt like I was gonna be right there with them.
Right.
I did look up to like Dustin Poirier and Thiago. Like those guys are like super pioneer. Edson Barbosa.
Of course.
He's like a special one. Like where I'm like, I like you a lot, and because he's quiet too. He shows up in the gym. I'm like, yo, nobody knows this is that's the real deal right there. You have like Edson and Dustin. Like Dustin has a lot of the fame, but Edson kind of just like walks in the gym and like, dude, this guy, the master of the spinning heel kick.
Unreal Edson Barbosa.
But people I don't like, man. I'm trying to think here. Who would I match up with? I mean, maybe Tank Abbott, a young Tank Abbott or something like that.
That's a good one. That is a good one.
A young Tank Abbott or maybe Sakuraba.
Yeah.
Getting a rematch with that in Japan.
That would be awesome as well. Sakuraba's son's fighting now, isn't he?
He fights.
Yeah, he's
let's set it up,
there
man.
we go.
Wait, let's go.
That sounds like a good plan to me.
We'll do their rules too. Like
yeah,
some little catch wrestling if they want.
Did you enjoy the old Pride shows, Sakuraba and
I loved it.
Vanderlei?
You gotta, fighting was shown like once a month, if that. So it was a deal for us, man. Like, hey, the UFC. Like I remember when Hughes fought Pitbull in England. It was in England.
Yeah.
We were 3 a.m. Or it was like 3 p.m. and we're sitting there sweating. The ATT is just like, we're at this little TV. And it was so great. You see him win and it's like, now we got to wait till next month.
It's crazy to think it used to be like that, right?
Yeah.
It's like every other day.
It's an event you would wait for, you know what I mean?
I was at that show,
You were there.
That was my very first live event. Because I just signed with the UFC. I made my debut at 89.
Oh, wow.
And that was 85 at the O2 Arena.
Wow.
And I remember being there, like, my first time at a UFC event, having just signed my contract. It was very surreal.
That's cool. So you were a UFC fighter. They invited you.
They invited me.
Hey, come watch this. Oh, wow.
Yeah, and that was the first event.
How many times did you let people and be like, I'm gonna be in there?
You know what was weird? It was like they set me up to do an autograph signing, and I'm like, no one knows who I am. Like I've literally just signed my contract. Like there's a few people that have been following Cage Warriors that are gonna know who I am. But, and who did they put me with? Chuck Liddell. I'm like a spare part.
Were you just sitting there?
I was like Mayweather when he was doing the signing with Anthony Joshua. Did you see that?
Yeah.
And everyone's coming taking photographs and just like pushing Mayweather out of the way. I'm like, there's no point in me being here. This is Chuck Liddell.
Chuck Liddell, yeah.
But it was a great experience. And like that was my first opportunity to really kind of see how everything worked. And to watch the crowd reaction to Thiago Alves was special.
That was a time where the sport was developing. It hit another level.
Yeah, it did.
It hit another level, and I knew that too as a kid. I was like, this is not like the Chuck Liddell era was finishing. Right out, it kind of finishing after that.
It was coming to an end there for sure.
I would say there was
the welterweights were taking over there.
The welterweights, the welterweights, man. There was something else.
Yeah.
But yeah, that
Good
fight was a
times,
great fight, a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, this has been a great conversation.
Yeah, man. Somebody's gonna have to stop us, or else we'll be here all day.
Yeah, I know, right? Exactly. Dude, this has been great. Really enjoyed this conversation.
Man, for
Good luck
sure.
this weekend. Make sure you check out The Angry Barbarian, the hot sauce.
Yes, sir.
The website's theangrybarbarian.com. You got to get some of that.
Yes, it's there. The link's in my bio. I gotta do more on the website. I'm a little lazy. I'm not a tech guy, but we'll get there little by little, man. Support your local fighters.
I dig it. Thank you, bro.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it. Sorry if the convo was.
Dude, no, this has been awesome. This has been Between Rounds. It's been presented to you by Guerrilla Energy. We've had a good time here. Literally, we could sit here for another 3 hours and go through all the tattoos. And we haven't even talked about music. We'll have to do this another time. Yeah. This has been Between Rounds. I've been Dan Hardy. He's been Josh Silveira. We've been presented by Guerrilla Energy, and we've had a great time. And we'll see you next time.